Okay, Mark, you're on.
The original Chet's Melody Lounge is outside of north of Chicago, and it's owned by, I think it's called the Polensky family. Been there since the 1920s, and it was my younger brother's hangout for a while. And over the years, we just started calling this Chet's Melody Lounge. I don't know exactly why, but it just seemed perfect. I think because the original Chet's Melody Lounge is really a tiny little dive of a place. And sometimes if you see the number of musicians that we shove into that one little room, it feels like a tiny little dive of a place. And we play music like it is a kind of a dive bar, and that we're just going to play whatever we want. Everybody's good enough now that if somebody gets a wild hair and the song goes a certain way, it just goes that way. So I think that's how Chet's Melody Lounge started, just as kind of a remembrance of a roadside kind of a dive. I'm Mark Lonergan. It's Marklonergan. This is Saturday night at what we call Chet's Melody Lounge in Lyons, Colorado. We've been playing music here for about 15 years, and it's always been a haven for musicians. It started out with me and my wife at the time. She was a drummer, and I was a horrible bass player, learned to be a bass player. And the thing was that we had the pizza place in town. This is a town of about 1,700 people, and I used to deliver pizzas all over town. And whenever I would drop off a pizza and I'd see somebody with a guitar, I'd say, hey, well, look, we play music at our house. And that's kind of how it's grown. And it's been like that for, I say, the last 15 years. And I think for the guys that show up here, there's something irreplaceable about the friendship, the music itself, the night, being in Lyons. Most of them have, busy lives and wives and kids and whatnot. And then to come here once, nowadays once a month. Back in the old days it was once a week. Just to cut completely loose. And I think one of the things that people always enjoyed about this jam was that you could be a very, very beginner player, you could be the most advanced player, and either one would have just a fabulous time. And you could share instruments, you could play the most rudimentary thing, or you could, have us play the most rudimentary thing, and you could create the most incredible lead or whatever else. And so now I think that there's an actual kind of vibe in that room right there. It has what was that place that there was one in the east and one in the west? Do you remember the Allman Brothers made it famous, the Fillmore sort of thing? Certain places get a certain vibe. And there's been so much good laughter and great heart, I think. I think that's what separates this jam and this experience from a lot of others, is that, we just enjoy the musicality. We never worry about somebody being a virtuoso or somebody not being a virtuoso, or somebody being new or somebody making a mistake. I think the music kind of just swallows the mistakes. When it's playing really well, it emphasizes somebody playing really well. And if somebody makes a mistake, there's enough musicality, it just swallows that mistake, and nobody feels kind of alone or on their own about it. And then there's, I think just the camaraderie of it. I had this girlfriend years ago after I'd split up with my wife here, and she used to get really upset because when I would come home, I traveled a lot at the time, and when I would come home, this was the first thing I wanted to do if I had been traveling for a month or 6 weeks. Even before I really wanted to see her, I wanted to have a night of music. And she used to complain all the time about this, why isn't it me that you want to see right away? And I said, well, look, you just have to come over one night and experience what this music is. And she saw me sitting there playing with my bass and my eyes shut, and what we used to call the carnival ride, or the roller coaster ride that is a song when it's grooving. And afterwards she just said, okay, I get it. Now I get it. Because this experience is irreplaceable. You can't find it everywhere else. And she'd see me close my eyes, play my bass, just get lost in that beautiful sound, open my eyes and look at the other guys that are playing. So I think that's what this has always been about. I think it's partially this town. Lyons is a lovely, sleepy kind of little Colorado town with 2 beautiful rivers nearby. And I think there really is something to a room when you've played so much music there. People have laughed so many times there, few times cried there, that there's something in the walls of that place. And when the music starts up again, it's like an echo of not just all the days you spent there, the echoes of I think there's an echoes of ancestors that come through that room. I really do. So this is July of 2010, and I was told in December of last year that I had terminal stomach cancer, mesothelioma, and it's been I've been through a lot of surgeries and a bunch of other things, and there's nothing like this night when I'm here for Chet's. I'm reminded in this night that this is what life is about. It doesn't get any better than this. I feel like I can't be greedy about wanting more life, and I probably have 20-some months to be left on the planet. But I look up and I have great friends, I have great music, I have the great history of all of the music played here in the house. And I feel like this is it. It can't get any better than this. And, it rejuvenates your spirit as best it can. I mean, it's not going to give me another month to live. But you do get that reminded that, and how lucky I am to have this many friends, to have the opportunity to play music, to feel this, every musician knows it, this languageless, although it is the language of music, but this communion and this conversation that's going on in a foreign language. It's you can talk to each other through these instruments, through tiny looks, through a half-step movement in the song. And I'm the bass player, so I get the great opportunity to move the thing around. If I want to speed it up, if I want to slow it down. I suppose my favorite thing, though, is just being that anchor. Just sitting there and starting a song and holding it. And knowing that the whole groove and the whole night is just counting on you playing these notes in this order and this time, and I can shut my eyes and feel the enormity of what's the best about life. That's it. I'm 52 now, and I've never had a better experience. And to know that my friends will still come over and share that experience with me, there's nothing better than that.